This is the second time that we are partnering with SHRM in India and releasing this report. This report is a global human capital trends study that we do. And this is the 8th in the edition. We do it every year. This is Deloitte's global benchmark report. The study tries to find out, rather than finding out what has happened in human capital in the last year or in the last couple of years, this is a forward-looking study. And therefore it's different. And in my understanding, it's one of the very few studies that are actually predictive. So what we're trying to do is look at data and predict what are likely to be the next level trends and patterns in human capital. So in 2019, our study, which we will be launching today evening, the report is launching today evening with SHRM. There are a couple of very interesting things that we have found, which I want to talk about. The first is that organizations need to get ready for the future by becoming a more socially responsible enterprise, or what we are calling a social enterprise. What do we mean by that? What we are finding out is that it is most critical for employees, customers, and the ecosystem for an organization to do the right thing. And we call it, you do well by doing good. So is it about being non-profit oriented? No, it's not about not being profit oriented. It's about being profit oriented, at the same time being more responsible towards the overall ecosystem. Is it about the environment? Yes, it's not just about the environment, but it's also about addressing societal issues, like, for example, pay parity. The parity differentiation between top level and bottom level pay is increasing in the US, in India, in China, and we think that that is something organizations need to address, because it's not healthy for that parity to keep, for lack of parity. The second is things like gender issues, diversity issues. So only an organization that can take all of these into account is something that we find is going to be called a compelling social enterprise. That is one. The second is, as far as jobs are concerned, with the advent of artificial intelligence and machine learning and technology overall, we think that jobs are moving from being just jobs, and there's a concern around, is my job going to be replaced? Is there a robot that's going to take over my job? The short answer is, your job as you're doing it now, if you continue doing it without leveraging technology, without looking at how artificial intelligence can actually add value to the job, then perhaps it's going to be replaced faster than you think. However, if you embrace technology and if you leverage what AI and machine learning and the rest of whatever technology has to offer, then you have converted your job, in our language, you're moving your job to become a super job. And jobs of the future are going to be those super jobs that actually add critical value to the organization. And the third, which is the most important, is what should human resource organizations do? How can HR help the company? How can HR help the workers? Two things. HR has to look at the current situation and prepare for the future, not by just tweaking at the edges, but by trying to bring about a sea change in the way organizations are structured, looking at jobs, looking at how they're organized, looking at the design principles, looking at employee experience, and moving beyond the so-called employee experience into what we are calling human experience. It is HR's responsibility, the second most important thing, to give purpose and meaning to every employee. When they come to work, they want to be part of the social enterprise, but they want to see how what they do increases and enhances meaning for the organization, and thereby in turn how they can do the right thing and the best thing that is possible for the society that they operate in. That inherently is going to be HR's responsibility, and as a combination of all of this is where the worker, the workplace, and the work itself with the enterprise is going to change and prepare ourselves for the future. Thank you.